Hello everybody. Today I'm going to show you the template feature of Cohler Classical. In Cohler Classical you can start recording in a matter of seconds, literally, using any of our numerous templates. You can also modify those templates to customize them for your own needs. And furthermore, you can create templates from existing projects. I'll show you all three of those things now. So to open one of our templates, you go to the File menu, Open, Project Template, and there's a list of them there. So let's say we open the 6-channel Duo with Piano template. When they come up, they all look the same. They all look like this. You've got your 10 track groups. What's different is what's inside each track group. If I pop open the first track group, you can see that's got main left, main right, piano right, room left, room right, and live mix. You can also see it in the mixer. If you look at the mixer, you see all of your tracks there. All of our templates have a couple of features. First of all, they all have an edit mix, they all have a live mix, and they all have a reverb. So that way when you're in a recording session, you're recording not only whatever tracks you're recording, you also have a reverb track that you can then add reverb to later on when you start your editing process, and you also have a live mix track that automatically switches back and forth between recording and editing mode. So this particular template is a 6-channel template. All of the channels are assigned in numerical order for whatever interface you have. So in other words, in this case, main L is going to be channel 1 on your device, main R is channel 2, piano L is channel 3, piano R is 4, etc. They're all pre-assigned, so all you have to do is plug in the channels in order and you're ready to record, literally. If you want to switch the order, you can do that too, but if you plug them in order, you're ready to go. Now let's say you wanted to change the names of the tracks, and maybe you wanted to add in an EQ or something. And the way you do that is you do it in the destination group, and then you're going to copy it down into the other groups. So let's say I want to change this from piano L and R to clarinet. So I'll change this grouping track to clarinet, and I don't even have to type the D colon. I can leave that out because the software will recreate that. Click on piano L here, change it to clarinet L, and piano R will change it to clarinet R. So this is now clarinet, clarinet L, clarinet R. But if I go to source group 1, it still says piano. And let's say I want to add an EQ. So I'll click and I say on the room mics, I'm going to add an EQ. So I'll add in the REAPER EQ. And I'll set the EQ to whatever, something weird like that. So now there's an EQ there. Now, to propagate those changes that I've just made to the layout and to this EQ, I go to Options, Update Setup, Copy Track Layout to Sources. I say OK. I say yes, delete that from all the source groups. And then it asks me to copy mixer settings. I say OK. And that's it. It's done. So now if I go look at source 1, you'll see it's exactly the same. It has the EQ there. It's got the tracks now named clarinet instead. So you can use our templates as is. You can modify them in a couple of seconds either way. And we have templates for 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 8, 14, 16, and 31 channel recordings. And you can then create your own templates, modify these, but if you're using a standard setup like an 8-channel chamber orchestra or a string quartet, 8 channels, you can be up and running and recording literally in seconds. You just plug the mics in, click the template, and you go. All right, so now the other thing you might want to do is after you've customized the template quite a bit and you've done a bunch of editing, let's say you've edited the first movement of a project, you may want to use that to create a template for the next movement. Unfortunately, the REAPER command to do that is useless because it doesn't clear out all the unnecessary stuff. But we have a command under the File menu called File, Save, Project as Template. That's a Cohler Classical command, which will clear out all the stuff, all the markers, all the audio items, etc., and allow you to save the template as is. So I'll demonstrate that for you. We'll close this up. Okay, so I'm opening up the Mendelssohn Double Concerto First Movement, which is a complicated setup that has in it already lots of EQs and reverb. It also has automation tracks, and it's got all the edits and items in there. So when we create a template, we want to get rid of the items, get rid of the automations, etc., but keep the EQs, keep the track setups, keep the sends, etc. So you'll see we can do that in one click. So here's the whole first movement, 100 takes or so. Looks like a couple hundred edits. And if we look, we can see there's tons of automation in there. It's a 35 or 40 track recording, orchestra recording, and lots of takes. But let's say we now just want to make a template that's empty and ready to go for the second movement. So all we do is we say save project as template. That then will open up the project templates folder and give us an opportunity to name it. So let's say we want to call this Mendelssohn Double Concerto second movement, and that's going to be a new template we're going to create in here. So I'll say save, and we'll replace, because I have one there of that name already. Okay, now it gives you an opportunity to either load that template into your current tab, load it into a new tab, or not load it at all right now, but it's already saved it. So let's say I want to create a new tab and load it in. I click yes, that's new tab. So I click yes, that's going to create a new tab, and it's going to load the new template that I've just created in there, which has all the reverb and EQ, and it has the layout of all the automation tracks, but no automation on them. So if I look at the mixer, I can see all the effects and everything are there, and the layout of the tracks is there. But if I look at the automation, you can see all the automation points themselves have been removed. So we just have the automation tracks ready to go, ready to add to, but all the points that were there are gone, all the items are gone, we're ready to edit. That's all there is to it. In one click, you can create a useful template from an existing project. So that's how you deal with templates. We either load them with the file open template, we can modify those, or we can create them from an existing project. Everything you need to do in Cohler Classical is just one click away.